Welcome back children to our 8th video for chapter 6 population, and we have completed the chapter but we are going to take the activities from page 44. Okay, so we have colors of both where you need to refer to all the maps and graphs that we have studied throughout this chapter and compare the statistics for Brazil and India. Okay, there are a few questions which we need to answer. So we will go through all of them one by one. The first question is, which country has a higher sex ratio? I think it would be nice if you can find your answers and then come back and check. Right, so we know that it is Brazil, where the females outnumber the male population, and there the sex ratio is almost 1090. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can check it out. Okay, that's on page 40. Then which country has a higher literacy rate? Once again, the answer is Brazil. You'll get it on page 44. Okay, and the literacy rate there is 92.6%, while in India it is only 72.2%. Which country is growing at a faster rate? And the answer is India, where the birth rate is much higher. Which country's population has a higher life expectancy? Definitely the answer is Brazil. Okay, if you remember the age and sex pyramid, there also we have seen that life expectancy, I think, is on page 43. Okay, where the life expectancy of Brazil is 75 and in India it is, I think, 68. Okay, then and because of that, the age and sex ratio tells us that the old population is much higher in Brazil. Right? Now, which country has a higher proportion of the old age population? So, old age people. This is related to the previous question, and the answer again is Brazil, because the life expectancy is high. The people living the life expectancy being higher, the number of years they live is more than that in India, and therefore the number of old age population is higher there. Then think about it, considering the above, okay, all that we have just discussed, considering that, what can be done in order to utilize our population properly? Now, if you remember in the introductory video, I had already told you that population can be turned into a resource, provided they are. So, in order to convert it or to utilize a population properly, we need to see that literacy rate increases. Okay, there should be no disparity between male and female ratio. Then, the female should get equal chance to survive and live. The population should be skilled. Population should be employed, so there should be employment opportunities for people. The population should also be healthy, so health benefits should be available for the masses. Okay, and also one more can be added, the technology should also be available for the masses. Moreover, technological education should also be there for the population, so that the population will turn into a resource. We can utilize the population properly then. Vocational courses should also be provided. Then what can be done to improve the literacy rate? There are various, you'll find the answers in fact for each topic in my previous videos. Okay, and here to improve the literacy rate, the government has taken a lot of measures and a lot more can be taken. So, free and compulsory education, primary education for all, then equal opportunities for education for all, Right to Education Act. Okay, Right to Education is also there. Then we have an act for it. Then there are a lot of schemes for the poor people, like scholarships are available, okay, for backward people. Also, we have certain schemes made by the government, like midday meal, okay, to encourage children to come to school, and lots more can be done as far as scholarships are concerned. As far as giving education to majority of the children, equal opportunities should be provided by the government. The people who are doing exceedingly well, okay, are given, in fact, those who get 80% and more in 10th standard get scholarships. Okay, some 15,000. Then those who get 90% and above, they get 20,000 from the government as well. So in this way, the government tries to encourage people for higher education as well. Then what can be done to improve the sex ratio? Now, in order to improve the sex ratio, okay, I had already discussed Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao program started by the government. Besides it, determination of sex is illegal in our country. Okay, so there is fine for the doctors who find out or determine the sex of the child in the fetus. Also, imprisonment is there for such type of people violating the law. Then various saving schemes are available for children. For example, in post office, we have something called Sukanya. Okay, so there are various other LIC policies specially dedicated to the girl child. So these are some of the measures. To control the growth rate, the best way to control growth rate is by controlling the birth rate. For that, awareness is created. Okay, then also family planning programs are implemented in the country, and the people are encouraged to have smaller families by giving subsidies, okay, by giving concessions, maybe in the children's education, etc., etc. So there are different ways in which you can add a few more if you like. Then we have use your brain power on page 44. If the population of dependent age group increases, how will it affect the economy of a country? Now, dependent population can be 0 to 15 or above 60. Okay, so if the number of children increases, definitely the stress is felt on the working age group, that is 15 to 59. Also, the savings will reduce as the number of children increases. So that could be a major impact. Savings will reduce, our economic development will slow down, okay, and resources will also be utilized. And what about 60 and above? If that age group also increases, then it will give stress on the working population. But can we avoid this? This is not asked, but I would like to discuss. Okay, yes, for 60, now children, you cannot, unless the birth rate is controlled, we cannot do anything much about the dependence of children on the population. But 60 and above, okay, there can be compulsory pension schemes for all senior citizens. Okay, so during their working time, that is during their working years, they definitely can invest into various pension schemes, and the government should encourage them to invest in pension schemes. Besides it, even after retirement, okay, if they can be productive in the sense they can be employed, okay, that also, like the politicians don't have an age for retirement, right? So why is it so? Everybody else, teachers, doctors, everybody in government services have to retire. Why not for the politicians then? So if similar way, even these people who have served in institutes, those who have served as doctors, as engineers, if they can get opportunity for employment somewhere else, okay, or in some other way, so that could solve the problem of dependency, right? Then give it a try. That's on page 44 again. Study the indices of density maps of both the countries, and what difference do you find and what conclusion can be drawn. For that, we need to look at the density maps of both the countries. I would ask you also to open the choropleth map. There it becomes easier. Of course, here also we can study. Okay, now what we notice is that the density of population in India is high almost in the entire country except the northeastern and northern part of our country. The rest of it, if you see the choropleth map, the density is more than 250, almost 300 to 400 on an average. Okay, and in Brazil, what do you find? Majority of the population, majority of the region falls under low density. In fact, if you look at the choropleth map, the density of population there is less than 50 people per square kilometer, because majority of the place is very, very low density regions. Okay, now another thing what we can see here is the northeastern part of India is densely populated. This part we had discussed already, but in Brazil the most of the density is in the south and southeastern coast of Brazil. Okay, so this is what we discussed also earlier. Then was there any other question that they asked? Difference to define, and what conclusion can you draw? So what conclusion? That in India density is very high. In fact 382 persons per square kilometer we had studied. And what about Brazil? I think Brazil was around just a minute. Density of population was only 23 persons per square kilometer. Okay, so that you can also add that point since we have studied that already. Then if you look at Brazil, you find as most of the population is concentrated here. In fact, the government has started a slogan or a scheme that is given to people: move west. Okay, so turn to west. So that is their way. I think in the next chapter we'll be talking about that go west policy, okay, of the Brazilians. Go west policy. So they are encouraged to move towards west so that there is not much concentration in one particular place. Okay, so the next question is do you know? Okay, I had discussed this also earlier. Census in both the countries is carried out after 10 years. Now, which organization carries out census in India? The Census of India, okay, institute. And in India, the census is carried out at the beginning of any new decade. So therefore, the last census was carried out in 2011. And the next census now is due next year in 2021. What about Brazil? Brazil also carries out census every 10 years, but they carry out census at the end of the decade. Therefore, the last census was carried out in 2010, and they are present. This census now is going on, that is in 2020. Okay, and coincidentally, the first census in both the countries was in 1872. Okay, both the countries had first census in 1872, which can be for fill in the blanks or choose the right option, etc. So we'll stop here and I will take the question answers in the next video. So till then, take care, God bless you and thank you.